Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more English story. Nara sat quietly in the back seat of a tuk-tuk, stuck in evening traffic. And so was her mind. Work had drained her. Her boss had scolded her for a small mistake. Her lunch had been rushed, and she hadn't spoken to anyone all day who actually made her feel seen. As she finally arrived home, tired and aching, she opened her phone to check messages. One notification, one message, one sentence from her close friend.
Molly,
Why didn't you show up again?
people are starting to talk.
Her heart instantly burned.
Talk.
What talk? Was Molly gossiping about her? Without even thinking, her fingers flew across the screen. Anger, confusion, hurt, all mixed into one storm. She typed, "You know what? Maybe stop talking behind my back and try asking if I'm okay." Her thumb hovered over the send button. Her chest was tight. Her eyes stung with frustration. It wasn't just the message, it was everything. The week, the pressure, the loneliness. But something deep inside whispered, "Wait, just wait a moment." Part 2. The pause. Nara stared at her screen. Her thumb was still on the send button. The anger felt real. The words felt right, but something inside her didn't feel right. A memory flashed. Her old mentor once said during a coffee break, "The first feeling is loud, but it's not always true.
Wait.
Let the second feeling speak." Nara sighed and locked her phone. She dropped it on the bed and walked to the kitchen. The silence in the room felt heavy.
So, did her chest.
She poured herself a glass of water and sat by the window. For a moment, she did nothing,
No scrolling. No typing.
just breathing. And then she asked herself, why did that message hit me so hard? Slowly, the real reason floated up. It wasn't Molly. It was the week, the loneliness, the pressure, the feeling of never being enough. Molly's message wasn't cruel. It was just unfortunate timing. She closed her eyes. If I had sent that angry reply, would I feel better? Or just more alone? Her anger was fading, like mist in the morning sun. Part 3. The real choice. An hour passed. Nara sat with her thoughts, not running from them this time. She wasn't used to this kind of stillness, where emotions were not buried, but understood. She picked up her phone again. Not to fight, not to prove a point, but to respond as the calmer version of herself. She opened the message Molly had sent earlier. Reread it, slower this time. It wasn't an attack, just poorly worded, probably rushed. Nara began typing, but her fingers moved differently now.
Hey, Molly.
I want to be honest, when I first read your message, I felt hurt. I almost snapped back, but I took a pause, and I realized I might be carrying stress from other places. So, I just want to ask, did you mean it the way it sounded? She read it twice
Took a breath.
and hit send. It wasn't weakness. It was clarity. She didn't give power to her first emotional wave. She waited for the truth underneath and answered from there. This was the strength she'd been building quietly all year. Not the kind of strength that pushes louder, but the kind that knows when to pause and listen within. Part 4. A new kind of power. The message was sent. Nara expected silence, but Molly replied faster than she thought. Nara,
I'm really sorry. I didn't mean it like that.
I was actually upset at something else but took it out the wrong way. Thank you for not yelling at me. I wouldn't have blamed you if you did. Nara stared at the screen, not with pride,
But peace.
She didn't win the conversation. There was no winner. But she won something deeper. Her self-respect, her clarity, her growth. She could have acted from her first emotion, anger. But she chose the second response, reflection.
She didn't react.
She led. And that made all the difference. We don't always control how we feel in the moment, but we do control what we do next. That second moment, the space between emotion and action, that's where our power lives. Just like Nara, we can train that power every day.
Part 5.
Quiet victories, stronger selves. That night, Nara didn't tell anyone what happened. No Instagram post, no long rant to friends, no need to explain herself to feel right. She just sat on her balcony, a cup of tea warming her hands, and looked up at the night sky. It felt like nothing had changed on the outside, but inside, A quiet strength had grown, the kind that doesn't shout, doesn't prove anything, and doesn't rush to be seen. It just is. Nara smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because she didn't let her emotions own her this time. She didn't react blindly. She chose awareness. She chose growth. She chose peace over proving a point. And that's a win no one can take away. Your turn, real life reminder. The real test is not how you act when everything's calm. It's how you respond when someone hurts you. Life feels unfair. Your feelings scream louder than your logic. In those moments, remember, you have the power to pause. You have the right to choose. You have the chance to grow. Not every fight is worth fighting. And not every feeling deserves a reaction. Sometimes, true power is simply saying, I see what I'm feeling, but I choose better. Part 6. The ripple effect. Weeks passed. Nara noticed something surprising. The more she stopped reacting, the more peaceful her life became. That coworker who always picked fights? She didn't take the bait. That friend who used guilt to control her? She calmly set boundaries. That voice in her own head that whispered, You're not enough? She started replying, I'm learning. I'm growing. I am enough. Something magical happened. People stopped treating her like someone they could push around. They started respecting her calm. They noticed her silence had weight. Her no had kindness, but it had strength too. And most of all, she noticed her own joy return. She no longer carried the weight of every argument, every opinion, every little storm. She had built her own shelter, not made of walls, but of self-awareness, emotional balance, and quiet courage. And the best part? She wasn't perfect. She still had emotional days. She still cried sometimes. She still got frustrated. But now she could catch herself. She could breathe through it. She could lead herself home. You don't have to be emotionless. You just have to be honest with yourself.
Ask.
Is this reaction helping me become who I want to be? And if the answer is no, pause. Breathe. Choose again. That's what emotional mastery looks like. Not perfection. Just power. Quietly reclaimed. The end, but not really. Nara didn't change overnight. But one small decision at a time. To pause. To breathe. To choose differently. Rewired her life. Her power didn't come from fighting back. It came from understanding herself. She realized, emotions are not the enemy. They're messengers. I just have to listen better. And slowly, the world around her changed. Because when one person heals, the ripple is quiet, but it's real. So, if you're reading this, you don't need to be loud to be strong. You don't need to control others to feel free. You just need to meet yourself, honestly, kindly, and grow from there. That's not the end. That's the beginning of the most powerful kind of life. Thank you so much for listening. If this story touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Until next time, keep dreaming and never stop noticing the beauty around you.